Okay, and speaking of education, I wanted to talk to you about credit, and kind of the launching off point is a news story this week. A Ticketmaster, which has had lots of controversy for a lot of other reasons, but they had a big security breach. And they're offering people impacted a year of credit surveillance with some credit companies, and you've talked about these credit companies. So that's disconcerting. If you get a letter or an email from Ticketmaster.
It could happen. It could happen anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, there's been breaches in the province of Nova Scotia. There's been challenges.
Yes, absolutely.
That happened. And there have been other big breaches here in Canada as well as internationally, obviously. It's a challenge. I think it's tough to secure your data now. And some of it is intentional breaches. Some of it is, unintentional. And I think that everyone needs to be cognizant. I think it's important to monitor your credit no matter if you've been breached or you haven't been breached.
Yeah.
And there's credit monitoring out there at a cost. I'd recommend people monitor their Equifax as well as their TransUnion. They both offer monthly monitoring. It has a cost, so you need to decide if it's going to be worth the cost to you. You can monitor it yourself for free. There are 2 free apps out there. There's Borrowell, which monitors your Equifax, and there is Credit Karma that monitors your TransUnion. So the reason that you need both is there's 2 different credit reporting agencies in Canada. And, if you download these free apps, just prepare yourself. You're going to try to be sold some credit stuff. You don't need to buy it. Just use their services for free. And if you want to buy something, great. That's how they monetize their business because these apps are free.
Okay, so when you sign up for the app, what information do you have to give them?
You have to give them all your information.
Exactly. Now, this is, again, me kind of being paranoid in a way with all of this stuff because I just don't know who to trust or what to trust.
And can you trust anyone?
Can you trust anyone? Sites are cloned, AI, all of this stuff. So what advice do you give people when you're saying this is my pertinent information?
Not every app from the App Store is trustworthy.
Yeah.
But by and large, I think if you're downloading from the Apple App Store, if you're downloading from the Android App Store, these are somewhat vetted apps. I can confirm Borrowell and Credit Karma they're good, they're fine. But if you don't want to risk downloading an app, you can go to the TransUnion and the Equifax website, and you can request your credit bureau yourself. But if you want to sign up for the monthly monitoring, they do have a few different packages. It's $10, $20 a month for each service. And that is a lot of cost if you're not really willing to spend it, or you might not have the money to spend it. So that's why I think Borrowell and Credit Karma are a good solution if you are, comfortable doing that type of thing. For me, I use Borrowell and Credit Karma myself. I don't pay for the credit monitoring. And they send you an update every week. Every week they send you an update. They show you, if there's any inquiries, they show you what's reported on your credit bureau. You can basically see your full, credit report on their apps, and there's no cost.
What recourse do you have if you're seeing some activity that you do not feel as though it is?
I would call the credit reporting agency. I would call.
Are they accessible?
Yeah, you can call Equifax. You can call TransUnion. They do have a credit dispute. They have a consumer hotline that you can call, and you can put in an investigation. For a consumer to do it, it does take some time. We do, as a mortgage broker, have our own service through Equifax Business Services where I can do an investigation. If there's something wrong on someone's report, we often see this for people that are, maybe previously bankrupt or maybe had a consumer proposal or maybe had a collection item. We can get the documentation and then we can do an investigation. It comes at a cost. This is not free. But we can do an investigation and we can correct that credit bureau. It normally takes between 2 and 30 days for the credit bureau to be corrected, which sometimes can be much faster than if a consumer goes and tries to do it themselves. Oftentimes, if a consumer tries to do it, it's 30 days plus. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 months. And you really need to have the right documentation to get a good investigation done.
Yeah. Okay. So beyond all of that, and you've talked about this many times in the show, some of the other things that you can do is you can look at your bank account on a daily basis, your transactions. You can look at you can go online and you can look at your credit card, what's transactioned online.
I've had my credit card stolen before.
Yeah.
But you know what? I called the bank. There was $6,000 worth of cash advances off my Visa card. I called the bank. and they instantly reversed them all.
Is that right?
They stopped the card. They cured me a new card, which was awesome. But it's not the same if your debit card gets breached. If your debit card gets breached and money gets debited from your account, sometimes that can take a really long time to go back, if at all. I mean, because that is real cash. Where with a credit card, there's a lot of different insurance and stuff that's built in there.
Yeah. Just this week, I went to book a tee time at a golf course, and they wanted a credit card number because they're so busy. Golf courses are so busy right now that when people don't know show, they want to be able to book them, right?
Of course.
Which is, I get. But the girl asked me for my credit card number over the phone, which I did give her the number.
But are they keying it into a system? Are they writing it down on a piece of paper?
I don't
that
know.
Piece of paper could just go away.
Could go anywhere, right? And I had concerns. I got to be honest with you. Afterwards, I thought and I hate to be that person who is suspicious, but that person could do anything with that information.
Right. And that's why you need to be smart, especially when you're going online. When you're going online and you're going to enter your credit card information, you should look at the URL and make sure it says HTTPS. And you should also look at the URL and see if there's a little lock symbol beside the URL. That means that website is safe or safer than just like a generic site. And they would have security on that site specifically to make sure that consumers are protected. Oftentimes in Canada, the websites that we use every day are very secure. There are other solutions with not entering your credit card online. Oftentimes, places that you might buy from online will offer you to either put in your credit card information or do the transaction through a trusted partner like PayPal. Where PayPal, you can log in, it's a portal, kind of like your online banking, and it can be hooked up to your credit card or your bank, and it can debit that account, or you can put money into PayPal. And that is more secure in some ways. So for those of you that are just not comfortable putting your credit card in online, it's a good solution. But again, be careful when you use your debit card and look where you're going to go and use it. ATMs can be duped, and they can have a little card reader on the ATM, and the ATM might work in like normal, but it's scanning all your information when the debit card goes in. So really, my recommendation is, use your credit card. There's a lot of more layers of protection on a credit card than there is a debit card. Really use your debit card at a bank branch or an ATM, but that's it. I would use credit cards for everything else, but you need to make sure that when you're using the credit card, you're using it smartly. Nobody wants to pay interest. Use the bank's money during your statement period and then pay it off every month. But remember, when that statement generates, don't go above 30 or 35% of your limit. Otherwise, it will impact your credit score.
Okay, just explain that again quickly if you can.
35% of the limit of your credit card, don't go above it when the statement generates, and whatever it shows on the statement will show on your credit bureau. So if you do a lot of charges throughout the month, make sure that you do a payment before your statement generates.
I see. I get it totally. Okay. All right. Listen, a lot of information out there. How do people get a hold of you?
Visit us online at teamclinton.ca/radio. We have hundreds of blog posts on there. We're going to have a blog post about Pride. You're going to be able to see Todd. We're going to be able to see our show here, Mortgage 101, as it rolls out. You can also see us on social media. All the links on our social accounts are from the website, and we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to any feedback that you have for us from our show. And if there's anything you want us to talk about on the show, feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Absolutely. Clinton, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Todd. If you've liked what you've heard and you want to learn more, feel free to visit us online at teamclinton.ca.